And our discussion today is with Jerry Sanders, President and CEO of the Regional Chamber of Commerce, Congressman Duncan D. Hunter, representing California's 50th District, and Congressman Scott Peters, the 52nd. And turning now to San Diego's military and defense industry, the world's largest synergism of its kind. And Congressman Hunter, we will start with you. You are a major active in the U.S. Marine Corps Reserve. When the word sequester began to shake DOD a while back, I recall your father here at a news conference issuing dire warnings about the downside risks there. How has this process shaken out? What is the posture going forward in light of the administration's policies, the implications for San Diego's military-industrial complex?
Yeah, the military, number one, needs to get its own house in order. We spend about $600 billion on defense. $600 billion. That's enough money to make sure that our nation's secure, to help our allies, to coerce our enemies. They need to get their acquisition side in effect, because it takes them too much money and it takes them way too long to develop new weapon systems. And that's what's happening in the Department of Defense right now. They have to shake out the way that they do things, because they do not operate like a business. They operate like a big government bureaucracy, and they waste billions and billions of dollars. So they have to get their house in order, especially if they want more money coming their way. Now, we in San Diego, we're in a fantastic spot, geographically speaking, because we have everybody here. The money's going to keep coming in as long as we still need those weapon systems, and we need the Navy, and we need the Marine Corps here. But the military has to get its house in order too, because we're not just going to throw money at them. So all of those things have to kind of happen at the same time.
Congressman Peters, you also are on the House Armed Services Committee. Your take on this, and then also broaden this out, because it's not just active duty and the global threats that we face, but it's the aftermarket. Veterans Administration, education, medical care, housing, things like that, jobs, entrepreneurial opportunities for those who are now serving and will join the veteran population.
Well, I couldn't agree with Duncan more about procurement. We've had real issues with getting people in the Department of Defense empowered to make decisions, to accept better technologies, and to work with innovations that are happening in the private sector and take advantage of those. So you don't want to be buying technology like you would buy a vehicle. You don't hold on to your cell phone for 10 years. We have to get away from that kind of mindset. So I agree with Duncan. On the sequester, though, the sequester was across-the-board cuts. And that way of budgeting just makes no sense. And when I came into office last year... Yeah, the MEAD Acts. And so a lot of you talk to an admiral or a general, they were frustrated because they were stuck not being able to move money around. A lot of the contracting community, we think we were looking at 30,000 layoffs if we had not averted that in the short term, which we did, but we're looking at that again in 2016. So as part of a national budget for America, we really have to deal with a smarter way to budget for defense and everything else.
And Jerry, moving now to the essentially after the service, this is the home to the largest population of veterans in the nation. And how is it that you can get them in the economy? How is it you can care for the various needs that really should be paid back?
Well, you know, there's a lot of efforts going on right now, and I think that what people are trying to do is now coordinate those efforts, give veterans one portal to go to, so that after they get out of the military, they can find out what the jobs are, what their abilities are. Well, you know what I always tell the veterans that are leaving, they have what every employer wants. They have discipline, they have life experience, and they've got a sense of honor that they've done something for their country, and that's what employers look for. But it's hard to get them into the mainstream, because they just don't know where to go when they get out. And those are some of the issues that not only the Chamber, but EDC and several other organizations are working to try to coordinate.
Great. Inside a minute, gentlemen, could you wrap up here? Let's just say 25
just to follow on with
seconds are worth.
Follow on with Jerry, it's called the Military Transition Support Project. It's without federal funds, something we participated in. The idea is we have so many people here volunteering to help vets. We want them to get jobs, job skills training, personal counseling. One place to go. It's the Military Transition Support Project.
Congressman Hunter.
Yeah, the national $17.5 trillion. Okay, there's not going to be any more money coming into the Department of Defense. There's the sequester is going to be there until we can fix the big budget issues, right? The big budget issues, Medicare, Social Security, those types of issues. We have to fix that in order to secure and maintain our national security. That's a national security issue. If we don't fix the big budget thing, the $17.5 trillion national debt, everything else is going to suffer, from education to veterans to national security.
And that is our final word here. Thanks again for joining us, gentlemen. Jerry Sanders, Congressman Duncan Hunter, Scott Peters, and straight ahead.